Next question from Joel Adamson on YouTube. Everybody give Joel a big round of applause. He asks, supposedly Edith Swanneck was there afterwards, but didn't Harold have other concubines? Hearing about them during and after the Battle of Hastings would be cool. Should I just explain that quickly? King Harold was officially married to a woman named Edith of Mercia. She was his official wife, as far as anybody can tell. But for many, many years, Harold had been together with another woman named Edith, who is commonly known as Edith Swanneck, or Edith the Fair, known as his handfast wife. To pretty much everybody in Saxon England, it meant that she was his official wife, but to the rest of Europe, wasn't seen that way because it wasn't condoned by the church. It was pretty much a pagan hangover sort of thing. So she wasn't quite a concubine, but she was seen that way by a lot of, would have been seen that way by a lot of continental Europeans. So it just nicely sort of frames how differently the English and the French saw things. So in this instance, it's a case of marriage, but it could just as easily be transferred to right of succession. The English didn't necessarily need a blood tie to be in line for the throne. But for the French or any of the other European nations hanging around at that time, it was pretty much essential and no one else would be considered. So what happened to these people during and after the battle? Well, it's famously remembered that Edith Swanneck was brought to the battlefield to identify the messed up corpse of Harold Godwinson. But if she did this, it was in tandem with his mother, Geitha, who tried to buy her son's body from William and was refused. Edith of Mercia, the official queen of England, was left in London, and after the news of the disaster at Hastings leaked out, her brothers spirited her out of the city to safety. It seems entirely likely that Edith Swanneck would have been close by. It wasn't unusual for armies to travel with women. It wasn't unusual for commanders to travel with their families. Harald Hardrade sailed from Norway with his family, but he left them in Orkney. He didn't actually go on campaign with them. William obviously left his wife in Normandy, but it seems, I think, quite logical to assume that Edith Swanneck was pretty close by, possibly with the army, maybe on the nearby Caldbeck Hill with the other camp followers. That would explain how she was able to get to the field so quickly. Not a lot of things to go on there, but that kind of covers the main women involved in the Hastings story.